Hello, my people. It's your boy back again, Shadrach. And as usual, I'm back in another very good video. So today I'm going to be interviewing my visitor on the channel, and he's going to tell us more about his lifestyle in China. And I'm going to introduce him. He's called Elvis, but I would like him to introduce himself more details. So let's go.
Okay. Hello everyone. Do I say my full name? Because I have like a long name. I have like 7 names.
Yeah, you can say all of them.
All of them? That's
Yeah,
very
we are here.
confusing, isn't it? All right. My name is Elvis Aiden Obimpe Tata Yao Mensa Adam. I'm from Ghana.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've been in China for a long while, since 2013. Yeah.
Wow. Are you from one kingdom in Ghana? Because the names are so many.
Well, every name has a meaning. We give names for different meanings. So my first name is my first name. I have a middle name, which is Aiden, and I have a hyphenated surname, which is Obimpe Tata. Then I have a name which tells which day I was born, which is Yao, means I was born on a Thursday. Then my tribe name, which tells which tribe I'm from. So Edem, I'm from the Ewe tribe in Ghana. And then Mensa, meaning I'm the 3rd consecutive kid. So boy. So, yeah.
Yeah, it tells history. It tells history behind
Exactly, it's a whole storyline.
Yeah, it's
too,
good.
Too long.
Yeah, but it's good to know. I never knew much about Ghana. Yeah. So Elvis, you said, when did you come to China?
I came in November 2013.
2013.
Yeah.
So you've been here for how many years?
Okay, I was here from 2013 to 2020, and then I went back home during the COVID era. So that's like roughly 7 years, and then I came back last year. Yeah, so in total 8.
So maximally around 8 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Roughly 8 years.
That's too much, bro.
That's a long while, but yeah.
That's too much, but
it's life here. It's very comfortable. That's why maybe it keeps calling me back.
yeah, I think you love China.
So to love it.
Yeah, I guess so. So like before you came to China, what was your expectations before you came to China?
A lot. Back home there was this perception that we had of the Chinese culture and the foods especially, and how the language sounded like, because our only exposure to it then was just from the Chinese movies and then the parody accounts or parody videos that was being put online. So my first expectation was everybody here eats frog.
Yeah, people ask me that same question too.
Exactly. So for me, for even before I came, my family took me to a Chinese restaurant back home in Ghana for me to practice eating frogs.
Wow.
So we went, the first time I ate frogs was in Ghana at a Chinese restaurant, just to get used to it. Then I go here, and the agent who was with me, I was talking to him, and he was like, that's a misconception. A lot of people don't eat frogs. Yes, they do eat frogs here, but when you want it, you will find it. And me coming to Hainan, Haikou, their delicacy was more for like chicken feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're not really much of a frog people. So
yeah,
I'm like, cool then. So that was one of them. And also the language we had. Looking back, it's racist for us to even think that's how the Chinese language sounds like. I'm sure a lot of people would think of it. I don't mean to sound racist, but we thought it was like Shin Chong Chin or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I think you've seen TikTok challenges where they say things.
Sing that song or whatever that song.
Yeah,
that's
like
trending.
it's training so much. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
So that's those two main, and that's that all Chinese people wear shorts.
That's what is more common. It's more common.
Yeah,
everyone, even at home, everyone believes they are short.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
So apart from that, the frog. Have you ever tried snakes? Because people also think everyone eats snakes.
No, I don't want to try it. I don't want to try snakes or dogs. Nope, I don't want to try that. That's not my thing.
But probably you've come across them, right?
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah. Because me too, I saw snakes in the mall and I was like, what?
Exactly. The first there's this more RT Mart.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I
Yeah.
saw them too.
You know when they go to the fish section in the tanks.
Yeah,
The first time I saw it was a big snake in there, and I'm like, oh no, I don't have it. Like, I really hate snakes, so as soon as I saw it, I just had to turn back.
Me, I fear them, not
Me
hating,
too.
but I fear them.
I fear and hate them. I don't even want to see a picture of a snake.
Same.
Yeah.
I can even break my phone. I'm telling you, I can break my phone. Swear.
Yeah, it's terrible. So me seeing that was just crazy.
Okay. So now, like when you came to China, you've seen the language and everything. Maybe I'm sure you faced some language challenges.
Yeah.
Did you study Chinese before you came to China, or you just studied from here?
No, I was just thrown into the deep end.
Oh, so
Knew nothing about it.
so how did you find it? Like when you came, was it hard, simple?
Okay. It was for me. I think it was comfortable because I came when the semester had already started. So I had classmates from my country that made me settle in a bit easier, and my Chinese class was a bit, simple. We used to joke with it because we have this goofy personalities from my country. So whenever we learn something new, we just joke around with those new words, and it made it easier for me. But I feel like me learning Chinese was my personality hindered it a little bit because like naturally I'm more of a shy person. I keep to myself, and Chinese or with any language, for you to actually be good at it, you need to speak it more often.
Yeah, sure.
And the only time I was speaking Chinese was in class. I didn't bother to go out there and speak with new people. I was very like withdrawn, if I could say.
Yeah,
I
I
was too
get
shy
it.
to meet Chinese, and they were more eager
To talk to you
talk to you
because
when
it was
I
the first
came,
time.
Yeah, when I came, there weren't a lot of foreigners, even to talk about black people. We were very rare in Haiko. There were periods when a kid would see us on the street and run away.
Up to now.
And there were times in buses you have like people from young kids to adults, even to old people.
To the grandmas. and
Yeah, walk up
grandpas,
to you and say, "Oh, is your hair real? Can I touch your hair?"
Yeah,
and as soon as
exactly.
you say yes to one person, everybody
Everyone
on the
wants
bus
to touch, yeah.
wants to touch your hair. So yeah, I think the language, it's if you get the basics down, it's easy to grasp. And if you are more of like an outgoing person, a friendly person, you can get the hang of it quite easily.
Okay. So apart from the language, did you get any challenge like food? Food challenge?
No, food. I love food too much. So for me, as for food, as long as if it's something I don't eat, then cool. I'll step away from it. But if it's anything I eat, I don't really mind how you cook it. I'll eat it regardless. I think the only challenges I had when I first came with the misconception about black people, and it was borderline racism.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first night here in the taxi to the hotel, I was with my then roommate, so we're two. We came together with the same agent. So the agent was sitting in front with the cab driver, and the two of us at the back, and they were speaking Chinese. And my agent started laughing, and we were like, "Oh, what is she saying?" And her question, this an old woman, not a kid, was, "Oh, we black people, whenever we take a shower, does a black wash off
Yeah.
in the shower?"
Damn.
And I was
Are you
like,
serious?
What? What?
That's a funny question.
That's a funny question.
Yeah.
If it was a kid, I'll be like, okay, yes, they are not exposed to it, but for an adult to ask that
Yeah, you
question,
expect them to be knowing.
yeah, a bit knowledgeable. So I was
Yeah.
quite taken aback. And since from then, as you go out more, you see the borderline racism. I don't really blame them that much. It's more like they don't know.
They're
And
not
all
exposed to it, yeah.
And all they know about black people is from movies.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
they are violent people, they are loud and all that.
Drug
So-
addicts, drug
drug
dealers.
addicts,
Yeah.
there's gangbangers. So like I understand that, but it's still offensive to a certain
Yeah,
extent.
exactly. Actually, I was in the mall and then the kid
Yeah.
came and touched me to check.
I've had
If I'm
that
dirty-
experience. Like they were like this, And the third
Exactly, the kid did the same thing. And for me, actually, what pissed me off,
kid- Yeah.
after when the kid came hugging me,
Yeah.
so I love kids. So after the kid hugged me, the kid left. But then she kept looking at me. Actually, she was a girl. She
Yeah.
kept looking at me. But then the mother was like, "If you don't want to take shower again, you'll be black like him." I was like, "What?" And I was like, at least now I understand Chinese. How can you say that to a baby?
And one funny story that reminds me,
Bruh.
I had a friend who was telling the story that he went out and he was having dinner, and that he overheard a Chinese kid asking the mom like, "Why is his teeth so white?"
Yeah.
And the mom was like, "Oh, because he's black. That's why."
Wow.
How does that make sense?
Doesn't
It
complete
doesn't.
it.
So yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's part of life. We get used to it. Yeah.
Exactly.
We get used to it. So now, like, when you came and you started studying, how was your academics journey here? Because so many people think maybe Chinese academic, they think it's not good generally. So how is it, and how did you find it?
For me,
Like
it
the
was-
standard.
Yeah, it was standard. Like for me, we had okay. I had different nationality teachers, not just Chinese. I had one Afghanistan teacher who was teaching us biochemistry, and I think one Pakistani who was teaching anatomy. Then the rest were Chinese. And from my experience, it was difficult because we are competing for the top sporting class, and my classmates were Afghans, Pakistanis, Indians, other African nationalities, Mongolians. So, and these people are very smart, especially when it comes to retaining like content.
Yeah.
So the teaching style was good. I really love the teaching style, and the examinations was more applied. Even though there are some questions where you had to memorize everything and give the answers
answers,
very
yeah.
detailed. There's some, especially the biochemistry was more applied, which was good. So yeah, I do get the understanding that in China it's not that up to par as to how it's back home, but I beg to differ. It's quite competitive out here.
Yeah. So you talked of anatomy, and we
Yeah.
know it's a medical course.
Yeah.
So which course did you do?
Medicine.
You did medicine.
Yeah.
Oh. So are you able to keep practicing like back home, or can you be able to compete to markets like US and other good countries or developed countries?
Yeah.
Can you be able to compete?
If by the academic standard, yeah, because it's more of like the journey you want to go into. I have classmates who are in the US right now who wrote the USMLE from the same content that we're taught here. Yeah, maybe the way they teach is a bit different from how they are being taught in the US or other countries, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to if you feel like you are lacking in some department, you step up. So yeah, you can't compete. Even back home, I did go back home. I did my rotation back home. For me to practice back home, I need to write the exams. My classmates wrote the exams. They passed easily first time try. I chose not to write it because I wanted to come back.
Okay.
And if I had written it, that means I had to stay back home for 2 extra years, and I didn't want to. I had different things in mind to do, so I chose not to.
Oh, so like when you were doing those rotation, did you find any challenge
Yeah,
back home?
yeah, I did, because the hospitals that we are used to here is way more advanced than what's being
Back home.
That was back home. So the system, the electronic system, where you go see a doctor, where you have a test or you run some tests, a scan, wherever. By the time you walk back to the doctor's office, he already has the results on his PC. All your information is electronic.
Yeah,
But
sure.
back home, where I did my rotation, is still the folder system. That means you go for a scan, you wait, you get the scan results maybe the next day, next 2 days, next 3 days. Take
Yeah.
it, then take the physical results to the doctor
Then the
with
doctor
your
has to
folder,
check.
and sometimes the folder gets missing in the hospital, and
Yeah.
it's a whole lot of hassle. So
Yeah, it's
not
a bit
every hospital is
complicated.
like that though, but that's where I did mine, and I felt the system here in China was
it's a bit more developed.
more developed, way too advanced.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand it. So why did you choose to come back?
For me, I wanted to do, how do you call it? Okay, my main reason for studying medicine was to help people. That's what I thought as a kid. Then I went back home. I tell this story every time someone asks me when I came back. Me going back home, I had a reality check. Because what I experienced, I realized that the only thing I can do to help people is just prescribe medication for them.
Yeah, sure.
And how, if they can afford it or if not, it's not up to me, it's up to them. And for me, it didn't sit right with me. I wanted something more. I wanted to provide like better life for other people. And for me to do that, that means I need money.
Yeah, sure.
To help people. So I was like, okay, so I have the knowledge in the medical field, both in China and in Ghana. And back in China, I also dabbled a little bit in business. So I was like, I have this background as well. So I'm going to put my medical dream on hold, come back to China, start all over again, build something I have in mind, something on my heart, then start from scratch. And by God's grace, if everything goes according to plan, go back home, then actually help people the way I want them to be helped. So the main reason I came back to China was to establish connections and links for medical equipment, set up companies and all that, just to improve people's lives back home.
So now, does it mean that your dream changed?
It's, I think, evolved.
Okay.
It has evolved because as a kid, I saw doctors to be superheroes.
Yeah.
And I still do.
Up to now.
Up to now, it's
People
just
believe
in certain countries and in certain towns they are very limited, and I don't want that to be an issue for me or for my fellow doctors. Like not to help someone they really want to help because they don't have an equipment to do it, or because they don't have the facilities to help the people. So it's disheartening.
So that means by now you're more involved into business than
the business part of medicine, yes.
Okay. So I think it's part of it. So I think it's also
it's a way around it.
Yeah. So now, how do you find it? Like, is it simple to do business in China, exporting and importing things? Do you think something that is doable?
I think it is. Pre-COVID, I think was way easier than now. Now that COVID has hit the economy and everything, there's a little bit more restrictions about some things. But it's still easy as long as you know what you want.
Okay.
If you know what you want and how to find them, it's quite easy. But the problem is how to find them. Because you might know what you want, but getting the right item,
equipment,
the right equipment, the right connection, the right price is very tricky if you don't have, let's say, a Chinese person or another foreigner who knows the market to take you where those things are. You might buy the right item, but at maybe a higher price than you would have wanted to.
Okay. So now, do you find any challenge, like maybe exporting them to Africa?
No, because right now everybody knows how big China is, and when it comes to these kind of things, China is very resourceful, and shipping things back to Ghana is actually very easy because there are so many companies who have established connections between
China
them and Ghana. So shipping things from here to Ghana is easy.
So apart from that, do you have any other business you're doing, like maybe in Ghana or any other part of Africa?
Currently, no. Looking to expand, but these are baby steps. So we are still in the baby steps phase, trying to secure a more stable foundation here, and then from there, then a more stable foundation in Ghana. Then from Ghana, we go to other African countries.
Okay. So are you planning to stay in China, or you're planning to go back and establish a big business?
Stay in China for a minute, like for a year or two. Then afterwards, by God's grace, if everything is done according to His will, and it's how I want it, that is, if everything is lucrative enough, then I'll go back home and oversee everything that's done back home as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means you're planning to go back and have more concentration on the business back home.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good bit.
Yeah.
So now, like, how do you find the life after school and work and stuff like that? How do you find? What can
For
tell
me,
us a little bit?
it's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. A little bit of freedom. Getting to, even though being an adult is tricky, it's not all what we thought when we were
Yeah,
kids.
the responsibilities. I know.
Being an adult is tricky, but
Yeah, sure.
if you have the right people around you, it makes things easier. Right, with the right planning, with the right environment, with the right decisions, it's. I think for me, there's much more freedom to it than when I was a student, especially in a country like China, where if you have a student visa, you can't really, you know,
You can't work.
you
Yeah.
can't work, you can't do other things that you wish you could. But after work, if you have a working visa, it's more easy. Yeah.
So you don't find any trouble with working visa?
No.
Oh.
Well,
So
it depends on which kind of work. You know, again, every country is different. A lot of people think in China, working visa, like compared to other countries, it's just a broad statement, a big umbrella that covers everything. But
yeah, sure.
in China, it's very separated. There's the education one that is for just teaching. There's a business one. There's a company one. There's an entertainment working visa. So it differs. So if you have the entertainment working visa, that means you can't go be a teacher. If you
Okay.
have the company working visa, that means you can go into the entertainment, be an MC or a DJ or whatever. So if
You have
are
to stay in the
working-
same field where.
exactly. If you're
Oh, yeah.
working in that field that you have no issues at all.
No. So if you're found maybe by the police, we say you have entertainment visa, and
Yeah.
then you're teaching. Is there any penalty?
Yeah, there is. First, the school will be fined. If they are not lucky, they might even close it down. So the school will be fined. You will be fined. You'll be detained. And some people are so unlucky that afterwards they are deported back home. Some are lucky enough that after that they let them like still stay in China, but rarely do they stay. Often than not, they just cancel their visa, then tell them to leave after being fined.
So, like, does it come with deportation? Can they deport someone?
Yeah, most often, yeah, they deport you, especially if you are teaching without the right document. Yeah, you just be sent back home.
Oh wow, that's so
It's
serious.
very serious. First, they'll detain you for a couple of days, fine you, and then give you like a week. If I'm not lying, they'll give you a couple of days, then get your stuff in check and go.
Yeah. So apart from being deported, what are the penalties? Like, how much can you pay?
A lot. Okay, if my memory serves me right, I know someone who used to be a student then and was teaching, and the person was fined, I think 20,000
10,000.
yuan RMB. That was like years ago.
That means it was around 3,500, I guess, US dollar.
Dollars, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's a lot
like
of money.
right now it could be more. Again, it varies. It depends on how they feel. They might feel like, okay, you've been doing it for way too long, or you are earning this much, so we will fine you this much.
Oh.
So yeah, there's no fixed amount, but it's a hefty price, and you will pay, and the school will also pay their own fine.
Oh.
So now schools are very wary about it.
So is it simple to find jobs in China? Because there are people who are back home in Africa
Yeah.
and they prefer coming to China because they hear you're making business. They might think it's something that is doable from anyone.
Yeah.
Like, is it simple like someone to just come from a country like Africa,
Yeah.
I mean like a continent like Africa, then just come and have business here?
Yeah, for me, I would advise you need to have a plan. I will not be the one to say, oh, it's so difficult. No, it is easy if you have a good plan. So let's say if you want to come do business, you need to have the idea of what kind of businesses you want to do. You need to do the research, like, okay, these are the companies I want to do businesses with. If you want to stay in China and do this kind of business, that means when you come, you need to set up a company, you need to have enough funds to be able to live by yourself, because the business might not pick up suddenly
So quickly, yeah.
So I think you need the plan, the resources, and the how do you call it, the right connections. Just research. And the Chinese companies, if you get in contact with them, you tell them, oh, this is the business I want to get into with you. They are very cooperative.
Okay.
And with other branches, as in like other opportunities, it varies per city. In our cities, a job like a teaching job is very, very scarce.
Okay.
But in other cities like Beijing or Shenzhen, there's more opportunities, like even for football training, basketball training, even swimming, or even singing. There are so many opportunities out there with every talent and ability you have. What you need to do is know how to brand yourself. If you are very good at branding yourself to be like a specific figure or how you look, it's easier, a lot easier, yeah.
So now, like doing business, does it require someone to be speaking good Chinese?
Yes, if you want to get to the nitty-gritty of it, yeah, you need to. If not someone speaking good Chinese, maybe you can speak a good Chinese, but you can partner with someone who speaks, a Chinese person who wants to do this with you. That's the best formula. So that means the Chinese person speaks both English and English and Chinese, and then you have your idea. You both go into the market, and then you find what you want. And the Chinese person should also be good at haggling. So like the price system, tell you, no, I want it this way. I want, like, you need someone like that in your corner. If not, yes, you can do it by yourself, but you might not get the best out of everything that you wish for.
Oh yeah, that one's understandable.
Yeah.
Thank you for this interview.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a big pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell them about your channel. You also have a YouTube channel. You can let them know about it.
Yeah. So my friends and I, we are like a group of football fanatics. We just sit sometimes, just talk about football, especially the EPL and the Champions League. And if you love football, you love to hear the wild takes, the hot takes that we have of your favorite players and our favorite teams. Follow us on football_ATP. Same on Twitter and Instagram as well.
Okay. I'll link up your YouTube channel here.
Thanks.
So that people can follow you. Yeah, and it's been a pleasure having you on the channel. Hope to see you next time.
Yeah, I'd love to be back on.
Yeah, sure. It's a big pleasure. So today we are concluding this video from here. Please remember to subscribe, like the videos, and comment. We also need to know your views and what you think it can be the next topic that we can discuss with him. And if you have any question just for him, please just put it in the comment section. I'll be able to answer that question next time. Thank you. See you again.